Happiness. Happiness is what we all want. Happiness is what we strive to obtain every day. It can be tough to find it in the mundane, but if you know where the source can be found, you no longer have to keep looking around. Oh, hey, sorry. Let me introduce myself. My name is Amy Schools, and I used to think the Bible was just a book of rules. 7 years old is when my story began. I recited the prayer and got baptized, all according to plan. I grew up in the church and I knew every story, but by the time I was 13, I just thought it was incredibly boring. Yeah, I knew Jesus loved me and died for my sins, but all I could think about was when the next party would begin. And oh man, my life was exactly like the Roaring 20s. I was 17 years old, living like Jay Gatsby, and the devil was prowling around like a roaring lion, devouring my soul so happily. I no longer cared about God or what my purpose was. As long as I could have a good time, I was fine. But before I even saw it coming, I was just like Gatsby at the end of the story, in the mire and the mud, floating in my own blood. I began to wonder why I was so unhappy still, because everything about my life was a thrill. It didn't make sense to me how I could have everything, yet in the same way still feel like I have nothing. I just wanted so badly to feel fulfilled, to feel happy again. I thought all hope was lost. That was until I met him. I met a boy, and I thought he was perfect, handsome, loving, and full of respect. I thought he was the answer to all of my problems. It was the first time in a while that I thought that maybe God was looking out for me, because I hit the jackpot. Yeah, so I thought. Long story short, it left me in heartbreak. I was worse than I was before, and I no longer wanted to be awake. I used to pride myself on being so secure, but after this, I was really unsure. Unsure of who I was, why I was here, and if the world would be better off if I just disappeared. I knew the devil was pleased with the work he had done, destroying my happiness and departing like a hit and run, taking over my thoughts and telling me lies, rejoicing over the sound of my cries. But it was in the moments of my crying and weeping that God began to reveal to me why my life had meaning. You see, I was chasing after temporary happiness and temporary things when I should have just been chasing after the King of Kings. You see, the scary thing about living for yourself is that you will only live for a moment and you will never find fulfillment. This life does not last even if you are having a blast, because sooner or later we will all wither and fade away, but the word of the Lord is the only thing that remains. So I finally decided to let go of my wicked ways and chase after the one who remains the same. And God began to show me a life of love and laughter, and I finally found the happiness that I had always sought after. He is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He deserves all the glory in this story. He puts the breath in my lungs so that I can give him praise. He created you and I for himself, not for anybody else. So what I want you to learn from my story is that true happiness is found in God alone. The stone that I once rejected has now become the cornerstone. He is my hope, peace, banner, and provider. And last but not least, he is my Father. And nothing in this world can give me greater happiness than to be called his daughter.